Yeah, I hear ya.
No, you listen. You guys locked me out on the patio, and I politely tapped on the window.
Whoa, time out. With your gun.
Debatable.
The weekly hangover. This'll probably hurt, but you'll be thirsty for more. You guys, so I wanted to change things up a little bit. I wanted to have a couple of different people from all different types of walks of life. This time we have two of my really good friends. They're married. Met them in college. Jordan was my RA. He's been one of my great friends since college. Didn't always start out being great friends, but we're here now. But Jordan is a father of 3, husband to 1, loyal friend. Hunter has a powerful comb-over haircut, and he is my boss. Jordan, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Happy to be here. Excited to do this. Been following this podcast for a while, so it's awesome that I get to be a part of Dreams in the Making here.
Dude, it's been a while since I wanted to get you on here, but then it's hard to get you alone because you have, kids and a wife and a job that requires all your attention.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in my life right now, and I got a dog, so, got to pay attention to him every now and then.
It's okay. I'm your only friend. So Jordan was my RA in college, and we became friends through other friends, through Kevin and Corey, and just like through jiu-jitsu and through some friends. We didn't always start out to being friends. Jordan and I were at Buffalo Wild Wings when we really started getting to talk to each other. But we were at Buffalo Wild Wings, and there were some other people there. People were like, "Oh, like, where are you from?" And I was like, "Well, I'm from California, but I just came to Richmond, and now I'm here in Lynchburg." And I was like, "Man, I hate Richmond. It's just a real piece of crap." And this was in like 2009. But Jordan's like, "I'm from Richmond." I was like, "Yeah, all right."
Yeah, it was a good start to a friendship right then. Right over eating some wings, watching some fights. I knew a guy that expressed his mind that honestly had to be somebody good. So yeah, it started off on a good foot, and since then it's been awesome, man. Lots of good times.
It has been good, dude. I would say that obviously we're really good friends now, but it was kind of when we first started like talking and being social, there was a couple of friends like Kevin, him and I just started hanging out, but you and Corey, where I was like, I want to be friends with those guys. And then you and I we became friends. We started hanging out and, doing social stuff.
Yeah, it was a good group of people, man. I think it's rare to find that kind of group in college and be able to stay in contact with them afterwards. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would say before you got married, I would come down, I don't know what, like every other month or so and just come out and go out and get wild.
Yeah. No, we had a good time, man. That's for sure. We have some wild events and stories throughout all the life changes that have gone on, different bachelor parties and, the shenanigans that ensued with that. So, it's good times.
Dude, it has been good times. A lot of the stories that I've already said include Jordan or friends of Jordan, so it's definitely been fun so far. Jordan has been loyal to the core. He had my back in a snowball fight one time. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I do remember this. I actually told somebody this story the other day. It got out of hand.
Dude, so I would say it originally started with some random locals there throwing snowballs, and I was getting into an altercation with this random kid. Do you remember his name? Do you remember?
I don't remember his name. I remember he was a little bit of a dirtbag. Some might call him a tool, in other words. Yeah, he was interesting.
I wanted to go fight this kid, and then Deaton, or as I was going to swing, he like bear hugged me, and I was like, "All right, I'm calm. Let me go." And he lets me go, and I'm like, come here. So
yeah, and I remember too, he had some of his buddies that were kind of backing him up, and if I remember correctly, I remember pushing a guy down into the snow and kind of standing over him, making sure he didn't get back up and come on to your blind side or, come around the flank. So, yeah, it was for a snowball fight, it got pretty, it escalated quickly.
I wrote down that you slammed a guy to the ground. It was wild.
It was wild. Yeah. And I if I recall correctly, I think there was a couple broken windows that night. The events, if you remember Patrick Swilly, I came out to find him twisting some guy's leg because the guy had tried to knock down the igloo they made.
Yeah.
And
Heaven forbid.
yeah, he said he was trying to break the guy's leg, and he thought that was totally cool and okay.
Well, he was a strange bird.
Yeah, some could say that. He was a once in a lifetime type of dude, you know. I don't know if I'll ever meet a guy again like Patrick Swilly.
I don't know if I ever want to meet again like that.
Maybe not. Yeah,
But,
yeah.
No, I'd definitely say that some friends you have to put in a huge effort to become friends or remain friends, but I'd say that your and my relationship has been pretty effortless.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, you know, the cool thing is, I think ever since we, you know, kind of got out of college, it's never been hard for us to pick back up, even when you were living, you know, in another city. And, you know, you've always been one of those guys that's a ride or die friend, you know, always there. Man, we've had some good times, you know, just hanging out, going to the beach, you know, some good stuff there.
We'll get into that later. We've got a lot to say on that. But so I moved back to Richmond in August of 2018 or 17. And so Jordan said for the past couple of years, he's like, come to Richmond. I'm like, I don't want to move to Richmond. And he was like, come work for me. I'll get you a job. And I was like kind of skeptical about it, honestly, because, you know, I was like, I'm going to be working for one of my best friends. So my mindset was like, you know, if I mess up, you know, which is very possible because I'm a loose cannon at times. But yeah, it was a little nerve wracking. But I started working for you in August. I've left our company name out of it just in case something ever goes sideways.
The company, and you know, we're headed in good places this year. I'm excited about it. And yeah, man, I tried for a long time to get you to move to Richmond. So I would say that that's one of my biggest notches in my belt. You know, I'm gonna see if I can get Kevin to move here too, and maybe we can get the whole, you know, Corey, everybody.
Yeah, you know,
come to RVA 804.
Gosh, it'd be nice.
RVA City.
You know, we should just start applying for them and have people contact them. So
that's right.
Get them jobs.
That's right, man.
That'd be so cool.
I'm pretty much a recruiter. That's what I am.
He is my boss, so whenever he has to be my boss, which is all the time, you know, it sucks because what I'm trying to say is whenever I want to just talk and hang out, you know, he's always doing work things because, you know, we're at work, but I'm like, bro, I just want to hang out and cut up and chat.
Yeah, it's always funny, you know, when the door of the office is open and you stop by and we start chatting about something, and then another coworker walks in and your face literally makes a completely different expression. You're like, all right, I'll talk to you later.
I know. I know, because some people still don't know that we're super tight.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't. You know, it's kind of just one of those things. We keep it professional. You know, everybody kind of does their job and goes home. So, but you know, a couple people know.
Yeah. So for the people that don't know, whenever Jordan like walks by me, which is a bunch of times because his office is right in front of my desk, I'll salute him or stand and clap for him and give him an ovation. You know. I got to do it, you know.
Someone the other day was like, why is that crazy dude clapping for you all the time? I was like, that dude right there, he gets everybody hype. All right. Yeah, no, I appreciate the claps, man, you know.
Heck yeah, man.
You and Jim, you guys hold it down.
Bamboo Hut Jim.
Bamboo Hut Jim. Keeping it real.
I am a wild case. That's why it was one of the things I didn't know if I was, a little skeptical about working with you. But, you know, if it ever gets sour, I'll see you in the parking lot.
You know, that's right, man. We're all good, and, you know, it's a job. That's all it is.
It is a job. Get there, go home, do your work, get paid. You know?
That's right. That's right, man.
But speaking of, I only have a few friends that would actually throw down with me at any point in the day. And, you know, you're one of them. So cheers to you.
Yeah. Cheers to you, sir.
I definitely say that you and I are very different in many ways, would you say?
Yeah. No, I'd say we're pretty opposite in a lot of ways, actually. And I think that's kind of why it works out.
I mean, you and I have different mindsets. We have different ways of thinking. Even in college, you know, I'd come into your room and you'd be studying and, you know, doing normal college stuff, and I just wanted to hang out. But
I guess it was normal college stuff. You know, I you know, a lot of times felt like I was the only one studying on the hall, and that's probably true. You know, hey, it is what it is, you know?
Should I tell him about the other RH that get me in trouble?
Yeah.
All right, so I loved going to, or we all used to love going to the hockey games at our school. It was great, getting loud and wild and, you know, cheering and talking trash, and it was a lot of fun. But there was one game I was talking trash to the other team. This isn't where I got kicked out of the hockey game, but I got I was just talking trash to the team below us, just chirping. I'm trying to get inside their head. And one of the guys, actually, he passed away, but he was like, Dan, you can't say that. And I'm like, leave me the heck alone, man. You're not my dad. Leave me alone. Get out of my face. And, I was cursing and screaming and, yelling at the security guards and barking and all kinds of stuff. But I eventually got back to our dorm. So we went to Liberty University, which is a very reserved school with a lot of rules and regulations. Is that what you'd say?
Yeah, I think it's loosened up, and but when we were there was still very much a lot of structure, and as an RA on my side of things, I was kind of the enforcer of the rules, I guess you could say. So yeah, I would say there was a good amount of rules that we had to adhere to. So
I got back to the dorm like later on, and Jordan's RA partner, he came into my room and he said, "Hey Dan, we got to talk to you." I was like, all right. So I went into Jordan's room with the other RA partner. He went over like what happened. He's like, "Oh, Dan, did you say this? And did you say this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I said it. It's a part of hockey. It's a part of life." And he eventually tried to get me in trouble. And then he's like, let's bring in Kevin. Kevin was my roommate at the time. I know you remember, but for everyone that doesn't, but he was my roommate at the time. And he was like, let's bring in Kevin. Let's see what Kevin says. And Kevin's like, I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. Give your side,
Yeah, so basically when you walked in, he picked basically your two best friends to prosecute you, I guess you could say.
For sure.
And Kevin, of course, chose the road of, I didn't see anything. I didn't really hear anything either. I can't really say anything about it. And so then my partner looked at me and said, well, Jordan, what do you think? And I said, well, I think, honestly, if we don't have another witness to the fact that this happened or this was said, we don't really have anything to say at this point. I think we should just let this go. And so he said, okay, yeah, if Jordan says that, I guess I agree with that. So it was kind of funny because everybody knew that the three of us were pretty much the best of friends. Mm-hmm. And, my RA partner is kind of oblivious to that, I think, in that instance. But, hey, friendships work, and, there's a lot of wild times. And I will say those hockey games were some of the best memories at that school.
Oh, for sure.
It was amazing. The layout of the balcony right over the away bench was perfect because you used to be able to yell right at the away team and especially the backup goalkeeper who never played.
Man, that was so much fun, dude. Those are literally some of the best moments. Like there was one moment where I got kicked out of a hockey game because I was barking at the they weren't cops, but they were, like local security guards.
Like rent-a-cops.
Yeah. And I was like, "Bah!" And, eventually got kicked out. Whatever. It was a little...
Yeah. The fact that you barked at them is my favorite part of that story. It wasn't even like you were saying any words to them. No. You were actually just making animal sounds, and they took offense to that. So... that's when you're taking your job a little too seriously if you let somebody offend you by barking.
I should have ran, gave him a run for their money, literally.
Try to run away, put you to the ground right in the middle of the hockey game.
Try and catch me, Trick.
Yeah. Do you remember, while we're talking about hockey games and talking about Liberty, do you remember the guy who used to dance around the arena with the bells?
Yeah, the older guy?
Yeah. Yeah. So was that guy hired by the school or did he just show up randomly to every game?
I don't know, dude. He was a strange bird for sure.
Yeah, it was interesting. He used to slap these bells and dance around the whole arena to music every single end of the first period.
Didn't he have a name like Dancing something, Dancing Dave or Dancing Doug or something?
I think it was Dancing Dan, dude. I think he's your spirit animal.
Maybe we're friends.
Maybe you're friends. It's you in 40 years, man. That's what you get to look forward to.
That's me in 5 years.
It's wild.
I would definitely say that you and I have had some really good friends since we've known each other, and it's been since, 2011?
Yeah. I think it's been since then. It's, we're coming up on, 7 years now. Yeah. It's crazy.
I mean, it started off, pretty slow, like a normal, acquaintances, and then became friends, and then we became really good friends, and then I was in your wedding, yours and your wife's, Kidder. It's only grown. Now I go on vacation with you and Kidder's family every single year for the past 5 years.
That's right, man.
5 years.
That's right.
This is my place of happiness out there.
That's right, man. Good old Outer Banks. For those of you who haven't been there, go. It's worth it. It's one of the best beaches I've ever been to. And hopefully one day I get to retire there. I think that's the end goal.
I would love to retire there.
Yeah.
So let's forget everyone that's upstairs. And just you and me.
We'll live in a trailer on the beach, man.
That'd be great.
It'd be awesome. Man. Eat some fish tacos. Have some Coronas
every day.
every day.
Not work.
Nope.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. We can make it happen. Once this thing takes off, man, this podcast, that's where we're going to live. So
I'll take you with me.
the listeners, we're counting on you guys to make this happen.
Yeah, make us some money. Why do you think it is that we are such good friends, man?
I think you touched on it a little bit earlier. I think the difference in personalities and the difference in, some of the interests that we have actually works out really well. I think we balance each other out. And, I think that in the end, we've always been there for each other. And I think that's a true sign of a friendship. I think I've known since college that, like I said, you're one of those guys that I can always count on. And, you're not only friends with me, but you're friends with my wife and my in-laws, like your family. So I think it's gone beyond friendship, and you're part of the family, man.
Dude, I definitely feel a part of the family because I'm gonna talk a little bit about it with Kidder, but I've been to your guys' holidays a bunch of times: Christmas, Thanksgiving,
Yep,
New Year's, traditions. So it's definitely, I feel at home with you guys,
Yeah, no, and we love having you there, man. It feels great to have just another person that we can count on as far as family, and honestly, as our boys grow older, it's always good to have uncles, honorary uncles that they can count on and see as examples. So yeah, man, it's a great thing to have in your life. I think people a lot of times it's rare for them to have friendships like that. It's a good thing, man.
Heck yeah, man. What would you say your favorite memory of us would be?
My favorite memory of us. My favorite memory would be the time that we actually were in the open room of the dorm, and you said you wanted to fight me. And so I said, yeah, that sounds great. Let's, do a little sparring match. And very quickly into that match, we were going pretty hard, and I hit you in the solar plex. You remember that?
Oh, I remember, yeah. It was
and
the worst pain of my life.
You dropped like a bag of flour, to which I was scared out of my mind because I didn't know what happened at first. But I knew from that point on, I was like, man, this is a guy that's in my corner no matter what. You're a genuine dude. You're always there to take up arms if you need to for us. And I think that was one of my favorite memories, kind of, in my initial stages of getting to know you on the dorm. I think that was something that'll stick in my mind forever.
Maybe I might be wrong on this timeline, but I think that I am right, but correct me if I'm wrong. Was that when you and Kidder departed?
That was.
Okay, so let me shed some light. So Kidder and Jordan, when they were in college, they split up for a brief time period. And, it's always a very emotional breakup when you lose someone that you care about, obviously. So Jordan and I, we did a little sparring session, and it was we definitely turned it up, threw some hard punches, but I got dropped like a bag of hammers. It was, ugh.
Yeah, that was a tough time. And, truth be told, Dan was one of those guys that would constantly take up for me in that. And, I remember you would report back to me if you saw Kidder, you would mean mug her. And she probably didn't realize it, but, I appreciated it.
I'm loyal to
Thanks
the core.
Thanks for that, man.
I'm loyal to the core, man.
That's right. That's a good characteristic, man. But yeah, I would say that's one of my favorite memories of us. It was scary in the moment, but looking back on it, it was a pretty fun time and pretty funny to remember that now.
Yeah, I remember. It hurt. My favorite memory is definitely when we go to Nag's Head. Not just one specific memory because it's always a great time, but we go to Nag's Head every summer for a week and just enjoy it, let loose, go out to the beach all day, get some food, go back to the beach. It's just enjoy vacation. That's my favorite memories with going to Nag's Head.
Yeah, and I think, it's pretty awesome that we do the beach the way we do it, because for those of you listening, you probably think of the beach as in you go to the beach, but you actually go out to eat every night, or you go do these random things throughout the week. But when we go to the beach every single day, all day long. We bring our food with us to the beach. We bring our beer with us. Mm-hmm. We hang out. We have drinks on the beach. We body surf and get crushed by waves. All day long. And then we go and do it again the next day.
Yeah,
and it's the best thing in the world.
Sometimes go back for a night swim.
Yeah, that's right, man.
From 8 in the morning or so until it gets dark.
Yeah. No, and I think to me that's the best way to do vacation, man. There's no timeline. You can just hang out, have a great time. And, it's pretty cool now as we've kind of grown as a family to see the boys. They're going to get to enjoy that. And we're going to get to watch them grow up with that kind of, kind of heritage to be able to point back to and say that they have great memories from. So I think it's a great way to live out your childhood into your adulthood.
Heck yeah, dude. So I told Kidder about this. I'm sure she may have told you, but I want to go to Nag's Head in March. Remember like 2 years ago
down.
We went to Nag's Head?
Absolutely, man. It was a great time. Yeah.
But, I mean, you're my boss, so maybe putting some time into it.
Make sure that you got some PTO accrued. No, I think the last time we went, man, that was a great trip. It was cool being there off season because there wasn't a lot of people around. And it was cool being down on the beach and seeing the guys surfing, during the wintertime.
Yeah. Because
those guys were... Do you remember how big the waves were when we were there? It was huge.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was pretty awesome. And, you've got the dunes and everything like that we got to hike up. And, it's a great time, man. I'll go there any time of year.
Let's go right now.
Let's go.
Or March. All right, man. Anything you want to say before we cut out?
I'll go ahead and say, hold your friends dear. Enjoy the time that you have with them. And when you guys find a good friend, make them family.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon, and I'm going to go grab Kidder.
Peace.
All right, you guys, part 2. So I grabbed the other part of Jordan, which is Kidder. Kidder Bids. So Kidder is Jordan's wife. She is a photographer, a wonderful photographer. She is a mother of 3. She's a wonderful cook and a loyal to the core friend. Kidder, say hi.
Hi. I'm glad to be here with you.
Well, I'm glad for you to be here. It's been a good minute since I've started this, so I'm glad finally to get you guys on here together.
Yeah, for sure.
How has your week been? I know it's usually crazy because you have the 3 babies, but how's it been?
Yeah, it's been really good. We're getting back into a rhythm after everybody being sick on and off over the holidays with William starting preschool and things like that. We've been bringing home a lot of bugs. So it's been nice. We've been busy, which is good though. I like to keep a rhythm going with the kids. Having something to do keeps them from getting crazy. So we've been pretty busy, but it's good.
Well, Kidder, I would actually say that you guys are a very active family. You and the babies are always on the go, always doing something, always out at the park. What did you guys do today? It was pretty intense.
Yeah, it was a really busy day. We started early. First, we went to the grocery store around 8, but don't get too excited. We used ClickList, so it wasn't too crazy. But so we went there, and then we went straight to William's preschool and dropped him off, and then made it back home. I hosted a Bible study from our church. So a few women came and they brought 7 kids with them. So we ate and drank coffee and talked about Jesus. And it was a really good time. And then when that was over, it was time to go pick up William. And I did that. And then we came home and had lunch. And all the children decided to not take naps. And so that did not happen. So Tommy came over, my brother, which you're good friends with as well. And we took the dog to the park. And we ran around until it was time for dinner. And then they got nice and messy with a spaghetti dinner and took baths. And finally, they are asleep. So here we are.
So the 3 babies, Wyatt, Truett, the Truth Connell.
That's right.
And Wild Bill William.
Yes, William.
So I have a favorite.
I know you do.
But I can't ever admit to one or the other because it honestly, when one is crying more than the other, I like the one that's not crying.
I know. Well, I mean, me too. Right. But I think, there's some nights that Jordan and I lay in bed and it's kind of just a joke where we ask each other who our favorite is. And that really, in the beginning, it was so difficult because William was so young when they were first born. He was still a baby. And then we had 2 more babies. And so kind of it was just like a little way to humor ourselves at the end of the day was to choose who our favorite was. For a long time, it was William because he could take care of himself a little bit better. But now we're like branching out a little bit more. We have different favorites on different days. But it's generally whoever's being nicest.
So my favorite, again, like I said, it will change, but Wyatt is definitely, I think I cling to because I'll blow in his face and he'll smile at me. So
he's easily amused.
Yeah, if he smiles at me, I'm like, all right, we have a connection, we're friends.
Right. He's Tommy's favorite too.
Is he really?
Yeah, I think so. He won't say, but I'm pretty sure.
Is William your dad's favorite?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. One time, I'm going to put this out there for the world. When the twins were fresh, they were brand new, Dad was holding Truett, and William saw and said, "No, Granddaddy." And Dad, I'm not kidding, Dad threw Truett on the couch to grab William. And I'll never let him live it down.
I love your dad.
He's a good one.
Your dad's one of my great friends. I tell him that we're best friends all the time.
And he just goes, uh-huh.
Uh-huh, I know. Kid, I wanted to bring you guys on here, both of you guys on here, because, I would definitely say that we're really good friends. Mm-hmm. We hang out a couple times a week, do life together. I definitely wouldn't say that we've always been super close, but I'd say since over the years we've gotten a whole lot closer now. We're really good friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'd definitely say it didn't start out this way. I had a lot of anger and animosity towards you. So when you and Jordan departed from dating, I did not like you.
Well, I don't know if you didn't like me. I think you wanted to not like me. I mean...
Well, all right. So at the time, obviously, I'm loyal.
Right.
I was loyal to Jordan.
Right.
But now I'm loyal to the babies. I told Jordan. I walked in his office and I said I would take a bullet for them over you. So
that's okay. I'm all right with that.
Yeah. So
sorry, babe.
But I would definitely say that our friendship has grown significantly. Would you say?
Yeah, I would. You're a great friend.
How would you say that your marriage has gone so far with Jordan Foster?
Oh, awesome. I mean, a lot of hard things come with doing life with someone and living together and dealing with life's hardships together. But I would say that we have grown so much together since being married. Our first year was so great. We heard a lot of testimony of people talking about how the first year of marriage is really difficult, but we had so many years together before we got married. Mm-hmm. Dating and in high school and college together, and we felt like we really knew each other really well. And our first year was just pretty blissful, and then children came, and with that comes a lot of struggle. But I think we've been given a lot of grace, and we're able to show each other a lot of grace. We've done a lot of hard things, and I'm really thankful for it because now everything feels easy.
So you and Jordan had a really, I'd say, easy first year of marriage. But when you guys had William, for people that don't know, William had a hard beginning.
Yes.
I mean, obviously but there was a couple of times where I was very nervous where I didn't think William was going to make it. Mm-hmm. And, it hurt me seeing you guys hurt, but you guys have always been there for him. Obviously, you guys are great parents. What would you say the hardest part about William in that situation?
Well, I think the unknown it's a strange place to be because we were only about 26 weeks pregnant when I went into labor with William. And with your first child, you first go into labor. I woke up in the middle of the night and I was in labor, and you don't know what that's like, and you're like, I remember telling Jordan, because I woke him up because I was feeling so terrible. And I said, I really hope this isn't what labor feels like because this sucks. And so along with the unknown, never having had children before, having had sick children before, you don't know the gravity of it all. Not having experience in something, it just... it makes you in like this ethereal state. It's like a dream, So for the first, I would say I was in labor with William for about a week, and the first couple days is like a dream. And then we started getting nervous. Doctors come and they tell you all this stuff about percentages of survival rate and what it looks like for you and the baby. And you don't know how long you're going to be in this pain. You don't know how long your baby can withstand that labor, but you just want to do everything you can to keep them in. And I honestly thought that I was going to be able to hold him in to term. I really did. But then, at 27 weeks, he was born, and he was the coolest kid for us. We just looked at him and we could not believe that he was here. And he was 2 pounds and 10 ounces, and everything was there, you know.
Yeah.
He was breathing on his own with support, but he wasn't intubated, and he was, you know, taking in nutrition, and it was just incredible that a child that small could be doing so well. But I think the hardest, to answer your question really in a roundabout way, the hardest things I think came later. You know, when the hardest thing is when you've had your child live in a hospital for 3 months, and then all of a sudden he's always been hooked up to things. You always know what's going on. And then all of a sudden they just turn the machine off and they say, take him home. And you feel like you might break him. But I think that was, and you know, every stage has hard things, but I think that was the hardest.
Are you guys ever going to tell William that he had a hard upcoming, or what's your guys' plan of attack for her?
We've talked about that, and for a long time, we thought that maybe that was more of our story. Mm-hmm. Like God did a lot of things in our hearts during that time. And I feel like every child is going to be like, how much did I weigh when I was born? Yeah. You know, I don't know that Will, and he does have a heart murmur that he's still dealing with. So he'll probably still be seeing a cardiologist in years that he understands what's going on. I don't know how much we'll talk to him about all of that. I definitely don't want him to ever feel like he was a burden.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want him to ever feel like the life was mom and dad's worst, you know, time. Yeah. But I definitely think that he can look back and see how much strength he had, look forward and say, if I could have done that then unknowingly, I can do this now, you know.
I hope he could see it as like, wow, I guess I was tough, so maybe he could be mentally tough and physically tough his whole life.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. That's what I'm hoping for him.
Yeah, I'm not a parent, but I would say that'd be a good way to go. I'd probably tell him a little bit like, hey, you know, you just had a little bit of a rough time.
Yeah, you were just small.
But so Jordan's been a good father to all 3 so far?
Oh gosh, yeah, he's wonderful. Yeah, it's really cool how as parents, it's just, well, for us, it's been really natural how we complement each other. Like in some places where I struggle, he excels, and it goes the other way too. But Jordan is an awesome father. He cares deeply for their well-being, and he works really, really hard to make their needs met, you know, and he, you know, you see him all the time. Mm-hmm. He's down on the floor playing with them, being silly. He feeds them. He even, with the twins, I mean, you know, night feedings with 2, I couldn't possibly do it by myself. And he was up with me all night long, every night, and then going to work and being an adult and talking to people all day, you know, and yeah, he's wonderful. I tell him all the time, I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else.
Yeah, he bugs me sometimes.
Yeah, right?
He is a good guy. Do you think we would be friends without him?
You and I?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't even know who you are.
Maybe. But through you and through Jordan, I've became good friends with your family and with Tommy. Mm-hmm. You know, Jordan and I talked a little bit a couple minutes ago about going on vacation with you guys, which is the highlight of my year.
Ours too.
Like, I literally think about it months out. I'm like, oh, it's 4 months until we go on vacation.
It's like New Year's to me. Like, my whole year is based off of that vacation. Oh, yeah. Like, how far away are we in either direction of vacation?
I talked to Jordan a couple of minutes ago. Remember when I asked you if you want to go to Nags Head in like March or whatever?
Yeah.
Or March or April or whatever, but we should do that, rent a house for like a week.
Heck yeah.
I told Jordan, I was like, I have PTO, so I told him I was going to put in.
Right.
I'm going to be gone.
Well, Jordan, you can just commute from the beach house to work every day.
I'd say that since you and I and Jordan and Tommy and your whole family, I would say I'm an honorary member of your family, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, man. I mean, you're there for Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's.
You guys weren't even there. Wait,
no, we were there. You keep forgetting.
Well, all right, I was there I was there for Christmas
and New Year's.
Yeah, but you guys weren't there for Christmas, right?
No, we weren't there for Christmas. We were in Lancaster.
Yes.
Visiting Jordan's parents.
Okay, I don't know why I keep
But then we did Christmas again, remember?
Yeah.
We did Christmas 2.0.
I was there for the original.
Okay.
Since I've been close with you guys, it's kind of a family that I've been longing for. Like, my my family is, my brother and my mother, and I have people in my life that are great and that mean a lot to me, but, a family that's does outdoors crap, that's wild, fun, all around good people, a little bit of mix of everything in your family, but it's, I'm in there. I'm part of the family.
Heck yeah. I mean, we're so happy to have you too. You really, whenever anything's going down, one of us, either Dad or myself, we go, Dan know we're here. Dan know what we're doing. So you're always part of the group. We're happy to have you.
One of my favorite memories, or one of my favorite things with your dad, is just outside smoking a cigar with your dad.
Yeah.
Love
Quality
that.
time. Yeah.
Love that guy.
I do too. I think one of my favorite times with my dad too is what we used to, whenever I was living at home, on the summers or the season right before Jordan and I got married, every morning we'd have our coffee together and watch TV or watch the TV news, and that's probably one of the things that I always look forward to on those vacations, or when we're at the river house or something, is we can have our coffee together. So it's kind of like the same thing. It's, you're not really doing anything, but you're just kind of being,
just there.
Often just quiet.
Yeah.
But it's a good time. He's a good guy.
He's a good egg. Mm-hmm. If you had to find a favorite memory of you and I, what would you say? Yeah.
Let's see. There are so many. Some of them I wasn't even there for that are my favorite. I think one that I always laugh about is on our wedding day when you guys were getting portraits done. And, the photographer was ordering you guys around or whatever. And
the red hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's actually a really good friend of mine. So I talked to her today, but so she was taking your picture and you guys were being rowdy or whatever. And I don't know what was going on. I wasn't there, but apparently what you said was, "Oh, how long have you been doing this?" And she goes, "I've been doing this for however many years, 3 years or something like that." And you go, "Oh, so you're a professional." And I think someone came back to me and told me that day, and I was pretty stressed out, and I just started laughing so hard. I was so glad. Because you always lighten the mood, and it doesn't have to be so serious. And
my favorite memory is, we've touched on it briefly, Jordan and I touched on it a little bit, but there was a time when we were sitting in convocation and I was trying to mean mug you so hard from, I don't know what, probably 50 yards away or so, not even, and I was trying to show my anger, but that's one of my favorite memories. We have tons of them. We go to the beach all the time. We're always hanging out and doing life together. But yes. I'd say that's one of my favorite ones that makes me chuckle.
Chuckle.
All right, Kidder, real quick. What's one last thing you want to say before we cut out?
I don't
know. To friends, family.
Strength and family, right?
Strength and family.
Right.
I will take it.
Love you, Dan.
Love you too. All right, you guys. This has been another episode of The Weekly Hangover. We will talk to you soon. Bye.